Hi everyone, this is April and I just wanted to share my Disney World vacation planning binder with you. Um, I'm a planner and it helps me to have things, while I love Googling and looking online and checking things out that way, it also helps me to have something, solid and tangible in my hands that I can go ahead and flip through and read as needed. And also, this is our first Disney World vacation with our kids. So we haven't told them yet, but when we do, this is going to be something that I know is going to get flipped through a lot. And my son, especially, who is 6, is going to love the whole planning process because he's a lot like me and enjoys all of that. So I just wanted to share again my Disney planning binder and what's in it and what it entails, and maybe it'll help you out if you're creating your own. And if you need to change tabs, obviously your tabs might look differently than mine, but this is the things that I wanted to have in mine. So all right, let's begin. So the binder itself, it's just a 1-inch binder that I got at, I think, Walmart, maybe, I can't remember. And then I went ahead and printed out a cover sheet from a blog. I don't remember what the name of the blog is offhand. As we scroll through as we flip through the book, I do have her name in there, so I'll be able to tell you. But she had a bunch of free Disney printables, and they're super cute. So I'm probably gonna put our last name across the Mickey head before I show this to the kids. Inside I have, this is just the little booklet that they send you where they just say, your family name and your incredible vacation. And inside of it is just things about the park. So that I have in the front pocket. And then in the first cover page, I just have a cute little Mickey printout that I made. Or not that I made, that I found on the internet. I think I just Googled Disney World images or something like that. So that's that. And then this next sheet, it wasn't really something I definitely needed. We booked our trip already and we're going to be paying it off within like the next 2 months or so. But if we, ended up deciding to break it down into more payments, I thought this would be useful to keep track of, when we make our payments, how much, and all that jazz. So I don't know if we'll end up using this page, but I printed it out anyway, so we have it. And, we'll figure that out. So then the first page, actually I have little tabs here, so this one's clear, so you probably couldn't see it. But the first tab is for travel. And this page is going to have all of our information for our flights and Magical Express and resort info and stuff like that. We haven't booked our plane tickets yet, but we're going to be soon because my husband was just pricing out different flights. And once I do, I'll be able to put all the information in here. And again, this is part of the printable, free printables from, I think her website is called Lovely Commotion, I believe. So I'll double check that for you. And the next tab is the resort tab. And all I have in there right now is I just printed out the map for the resort we're staying at. We're going to be staying at the Port Orleans French Quarter, which is where my husband and I stayed for our honeymoon about 9 years ago. So I don't remember if I just said this, but we went on our honeymoon and, things have changed a lot about planning your Disney trip. But the one thing that I'm hoping hasn't changed a ton is the resort, because we really enjoyed it and we're looking forward to the kids staying there. And I wouldn't have minded trying out the other Port Orleans resort, the Riverside Resort, but my husband was pretty adamant that he was wanting to stay here again, which is fine with me. Originally we were looking at Valley Resorts, and then we just decided to go ahead and bump it up to a moderate for a couple different reasons, but one of which because of space. I really don't want to be totally cramped in a room with the 4 of us, and also having a bigger bed is key, because my husband and I aren't, my husband is a big man and I'm very tall, and we need space to just move around in our bed. So having a bigger bed is definitely important to us. So if anything else comes up that I want to add to this section, that's for the resort. Excuse me. And then the next tab is the dining. We are doing the dining plan. I don't remember if I said that already. We're going to have one sit-down meal a day. So, you know, since things have changed so much with Disney, when we went years ago, we literally just got up, walked out of our hotel, and decided on a whim where we were going to go eat for the day. And, you know, we went up to a restaurant and just saw if they had reservations available. And obviously now it doesn't work that way. You have to make your ADRs like, you know, pretty far out. And we just made ours in October, which was the 180-day mark. And there's some places that I really wanted to make sure that we got in to see, like Be Our Guest. I wanted to do for dinner. And then I wanted to take the kids to a character breakfast at the Crystal Palace. So a couple things, like I wanted to make sure that we definitely got them while we could. So this is just the breakdown of, it actually has everything on there. The reservations, 7-day park hopper, and then all the reservations where we're eating. And then what I did was I went ahead and printed out the menu for each restaurant. My son especially is a little picky, so I kind of want to go in with a game plan of knowing that there's definitely something that he will eat. And it's just, you know, again, I'm a planner and I like to know things ahead of time. So I went ahead and did that for everywhere we're eating at. Just the different menus. And plus I figured, you know, my kids haven't seen this book yet, but we're going to be telling them on Christmas. So I want this to be here in case my son wants to flip through and you know, I want it to help build the anticipation of the trip. Because for me, part of the fun is planning the trip and anticipating it and knowing what's coming. I really don't want to just wake up one day and spring it on them and say, hey, we're leaving right now, because that takes away some of the fun of it for me. So anyway, so the next section is FastPass. And, you know, again, this is some of the printables from Lovely Commotion. This page, you know, wasn't really a necessity in my binder. We're going to have a printout that our Disney travel agent has done for us. But, you know, I want my son to feel like he's a part of the planning process. So this way I figured, you know, him and I can sit down. We can actually write what we're going to be doing for our fast passes, the rides we want to do and the times, and just something to get him a little involved in the process. And then just, this I think is probably just, you know, you could write things that you want to go on. The next section is parks, and I printed out this height requirements for all the rides, and most of the stuff that we want to do isn't going to be a problem. My son is 6, my daughter right now is 4, but she'll be 5 before we go, and she's tall, so pretty much anything that we wanted to do, she is going to be tall enough for us to do. And there's a couple that, you know, I wasn't sure I wanted to do anyway, that she may not be tall enough for, so that's, you know, no big deal. Like, you know, rock and roller coasters, she's not tall enough to do that, 48 inches. But that's fine because, you know, we don't need to do it. And then after that, I just have the maps for each park. I just put them each in a separate sleeve. That way we could just take them out and look at them as needed. And again, it's to have that physical thing, something tangible for my kids to take out and look at and to help, you know, get excited. I mean, they're excited about Disney, the thought of it. They have a Disney planning jar, and we've talked about it a lot because I wanted to prepare them. So they think we're saving up because they want to go this summer, and they have no idea that we booked a trip for the spring. So, you know, it'll be super exciting to tell them and to see their reactions, and then I'll let them, you know, look through the book and check things out as well. So this next part, it's actually just a bunch of papers that I stuck in here. Our travel agent had printed out her recommendations for rides and attractions, things to do with kids, things she would skip, and blah, blah, blah. So that's all here. You know, my husband and I have read it a couple times, and it's how we determined which rides we definitely want to do and which rides we don't mind waiting on. So that's that. And then the next section, tab, is for our daily schedule. And, you know, again, something fun for my son to do with me. It's broken down, you know, day by day, and you have the day, the park, your dining places, which, you know, we're only going to have one sit down meal. So that's the one thing I'm going to write down. The breakfast and lunch will be playing it by ear because most likely, excuse me, most likely we're going to eat breakfast in the hotel room. You know, like oatmeal, cereal, stuff like that. And then our lunch will be wherever we're near in the park at that particular time. And then the fast passes, we can write down any characters that we want to meet at the park, park hours, magic hours, all that good stuff. So there's one for each day of our trip. We're there 8 days and 7 nights. And then I just have my, the page, what is it? My Disney Experience, again, where we broke down the schedule of where we're eating and everything. So then the next tab is called Packing. The first page I have in there is the Tinkerbell gifts. I do plan on doing Tinkerbell gifts. It's just a little something extra. Excuse me. I don't want to spend $1 million at the parks on souvenirs. We will be letting the kids get some souvenirs. The money that they've been saving up, I will probably go ahead and put it on Disney cards. And then that way they can spend their money on what they want. They're only going to have a certain amount, and then once it's gone, it's gone. So the Tinkerbell gifts are going to be something a little fun. I haven't decided if I'm going to do like a nightly gift or in the morning or what. Maybe like Tinkerbell can leave it while they're sleeping, or I'm not sure. I have to figure that out. And it's not going to be anything like super expensive or crazy. I mean, it could be a glow stick crown one night. It could be a pack of stickers or something like that. Just a little something exciting, so they, you know, are getting a little something special each day. And then obviously for the plane ride, I'm gonna have something to watch movies, or, you know, they'll have games on the iPad, or I'm gonna bring crayons and stuff to entertain them. So our plane ride's only about 3 hours, so it shouldn't be too long. And then I printed out a couple different packing lists that I found online. Like this one was from, can you see that? farmgirlgabs.com. And this one was from the Walt Disney World Prep School. You know, a packing list is a packing list for the most part, but going to Walt Disney World, there's definitely things that you need to know about and to bring ahead of time. And I wanted to be prepared, so I've watched a couple vlogs and I've started my own list with the help of some of these lists. You know, things that, like, you know, rain poncho, hand sanitizer, things that you want. Like, you know, obviously you're in Florida, it rains a lot and you want to be prepared. So whether you have a poncho or an umbrella or whatever, excuse me, my throat is dry. I don't see us bringing umbrellas because I could totally see my kids poking people in the face with them by accident. So I think the poncho will be the way to go. And then, you know, medicine. You know, if you have kids, you know that there's always something happen. We go camping a lot, and I swear, like, at least once every trip, someone gets a fever or a cough or, you know, nauseous, or something always happens. So I definitely want to be prepared for that. And that's, you know, that'll change. Like I have lists of things that I need to purchase, things that we need to pack. So as I go along, I'll probably do a couple vlogs about our packing. And then the last tab is just miscellaneous, which I don't have anything in yet. Basically, whatever comes up that I want to keep track of, I will put it in the miscellaneous tab. So I have it handy. So again, that is our binder, our Disney World Family Vacation binder. I hope this helps you in your planning process. It's super exciting to plan a trip to Disney World. And I know there's so much information out there. So I just wanted to give you a little something to help get you started, because watching other people's videos honestly helped immensely for me with planning our trip. So I will post more as I go along, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.